Say, I never thought you would play Need for Speed.
Now, where did that come from?
Yesterday I saw you playing in the engineer's room.
Oh, the power and I were just watching the engineer play. But then people started screaming and the engineer eventually left the room with the game running. But why are you bringing this up? We watch each other play all the time.
Okay. Well, we've never seen you play in particular. None of us knew you liked Need for Speed Most Wanted.
Actually, I like Need for Speed to run the best.
Really? That one is actually your favorite?
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
I don't know, that game is so linear, it falls apart as soon as you go off the intended path.
Okay, the game really holds your hand on where to go, but aside from that, it has a good gameplay with a good story.
I can't argue with that. The gameplay holds up pretty well.
But which game do you like?
Well, I like a load of the games, but if I had to pick
How's
one...
it going, lads?
We were just talking about Need for Speed games.
Oh, and which one?
The Run.
Need for Speed the Run? Now that's an epic game, especially up in the Rockies.
Yeah, exactly.
That downhill race in particular reminds me of the canyon duels in Carbon.
Need for Speed Carbon.
Yes, that's my favorite. Those canyon events were the high point.
Carbon is your favorite. The career mode is pretty short in that one.
Okay, but there's also the challenge series with a lot of variety.
You know, the story's pretty lacking in Carbon.
Let's be real here. Need for Speed is not about the story. It's about driving fast cars.
Alright, but back on topic. What's your favorite game, Spy?
As I was saying, my favorite game is...
Hey, fellas.
Oh, what's up?
Oh, come on, lads. What's the problem, Sniper? Nothing. We were just discussing Need for Speed games.
Funny that you mention it, since I just played Most Wanted yesterday. Do you like Most Wanted? Of course. I mean, who wouldn't? But I actually like Underground the most.
Underground too. The progression in that game is ridiculous.
Why? What's wrong with it?
You have to take a bunch of pictures for magazine covers, and to do that, you have to tune up your car with a bunch of visual parts. It wouldn't be so bad if most of the parts didn't look absolutely hideous. And worst of all, this is something you need to do to progress in the game. There was a time where I got stuck because I didn't know I had to raise the star rating. I don't want my car to look like a messed up carnival float.
But that game has a very extensive customization system. You can install hydraulics and even trunk audio. And I'm not just talking about the visuals. You can fine-tune your car for every event in great detail. And the photo shoots only encourage you to make your car look even better. As for the star rating, with all the customization options, you can top it off while keeping your car looking how you want. Oh yes, and it also has some good drift events, especially those downhill drifts.
Right. Those downhill drifts are among the best events, only taught by the races on the airport runway.
Did somebody just say airport races? Hi, Heavy. I was just talking about Need for Speed Underground 2. Underground 2? That game is for babies. You can't even destroy other cars in that one. What do you mean? You can crash into someone and they go tumbling for miles. Okay, but you don't wreck them. In Hot Pursuit, you can destroy cars in a lot of ways. You can even use weapons to kill them. Wait, which one are you talking about? The one made in 2010.
The Criterion one. I love that game. You can go crazy fast in that one.
Yes, and then you can run into the slower cars and smash them into pieces. That game has its moments too. Racing through winding mountain roads with police supercars and helicopters on your tail.
Okay, Spy, which game is your favorite?
If I can have the world back, I could finally say that I love...
Hello, gentlemen. What's the situation? What is his problem?
We were talking about our favorite Need for Speed games.
Yes, there are so many games out there. Spy, please answer.
Okay, my favorite game is Need for Speed Pro Street.
Pro Street. How come?
You actually like Pro Street the best.
Yes, Pro Street is my favorite.
But why? That game is so different from the others.
That game has a very unique vibe, bringing automotive culture together with festivals. It resonates well with racing games. Where do you think Forza Horizon got the idea?
But the game is so broken. It's so unstable, it's barely even enjoyable.
Okay, but over the years, many fan-made patches were made to fix the game up. And once you give the game what it needs, it becomes very fun to play.
But the camera shake is still too much. It makes Nevada Highway almost impossible.
Guess what? You can also get rid of the camera shake through patches.
Well, aside from that, you can play around with the tuning. You also need to create different builds for different events.
Yes, tuning.
It was absent for some time, but it returned in the 2015 Need for Speed. The 2015 one? Yes, that's my favorite game. Is it that the online-only game? You need to have an internet connection to even launch the game. What happens if you lose connection? But it has a good gameplay. It brought back the tuning system and the underground vibe to the series.
Yes, it has tuning, but it didn't bring back Autosculpt.
Carbon has Autosculpt. In fact, that's where Autosculpt gets introduced.
Pro Street has Autosculpt too. Okay, but it was last seen in Undercover.
Need for Speed Undercover?
Yes, that's actually a game I'm quite fond of.
Is Undercover your favorite?
Yes, that game put the franchise back on track after Pro Street.
And ruined it with terrible gameplay.
Hey, at least they tried something different. It's got a lot of unique events. There's even events where you have to destroy cars, and the game also put more emphasis on its story.
Too bad it's not much of a killer story.
I'm sorry, but nobody likes Undercover the best.
If you want a Need for Speed game with a good story, then play The Run.
You mean the game with the quick time events? Because that is exactly what you want in Need for Speed.
Okay, those parts are needed, but the story is much better in that game, and it also has better gameplay.
Who said Undercover didn't have good gameplay?
But the driving model in that game sucks. The cars all turn like they're on rails.
And Tri-City Bay is really bland. None of the areas have their own distinct feel.
Did your precious Carbon have a better story than Undercover? I think not.
Carbon has a weak story, but that's not the point here. That game had some unique stuff too. It had turf wars and dangerous canyon races. We have never gotten those ever since.
Aside from Independence Pass.
Aside from Independence Pass.
Okay, can we just agree on that we all hate the 2012 Most Wanted?
Oh
Don't
yeah.
even
That game
get
was
me started.
terrible. You mean Burnout Fairhaven? That's hardly even a Need for Speed game.
I actually like the open world design of that game.
Scout, shut up. What did you just say?
Scout, don't tell me you actually like that game.
I didn't say I like it, frankly. It was a wasted concept. I just like the open world design. That's all. The 2011 prototype is what the game should have been like.
Why did EA have to ruin Need for Speed? Why? Look, if you want a racing game with the same open world design, just play Burnout Paradise.
At least you can kill your opponents in that game.
Is that all you care about? Killing opponents?
We all have our own tastes.
Yes, we all do. But what about the Pyro? What is his favorite game?
What the hell?